What we're going to be talking about today, guys, is a very interesting topic which is hot on the scenes at the minute, which is tripods in the gym, because some of them have become an absolute nightmare, and some are actually being banned from gyms, which is very interesting nowadays, because I know there was a wave of it prior.
So we're offering gyms a friendlier environment. We're ticking the box for them moving away for tripods. We're allowing them to add this into their merchandise range, which gives them money back in their pocket and brand awareness.
And I love that. I don't want to be too cliche with this one, because that sounds like a Chris Williamson podcast quote. But like, how you do one thing is how you do everything, is what I was told once. And when I think about it, when you're on it with one thing, everything seems to be on it.
Yeah.
And then when you're off on something, normally like training and nutrition and like the hydration, then obviously it just all crumbles. Welcome back to the PerformWell podcast. This is the podcast for you if you're looking for performance and wellness optimization, so that you can not only smash your career, but also have a better life, better relationships, and better health. We believe that performance and wellness are yin and yang and work together. So listen in as we dive into topics that are going to help you optimize your life for the better. Welcome back to another episode of the PerformWell podcast, and today we have Michael from DNAHydrate. How are you doing, mate, since we last saw on PerformX?
Yeah, good, really good. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. It's nice to be here finally.
Travelled all the way from Derby as well?
Yeah, down from just between Burton and Derby, so it took me about 3.5 hours this morning, but yeah, it's a good drive.
Which means that Michael is our longest travelled guest.
We did deserve a like for the podcast just for that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're going to get into the podcast today. So, Michael, you are the founder of the brand, am I right in saying?
So there's three founders.
Three founders, yeah.
So it's myself, Adam, and Dylan.
Yep.
Adam and Dylan couldn't make it today, so yeah, I'm covering for all of us.
Beautiful. Well, the thing is, this is a wonderful brand, and what we're going to be talking about today, guys, is a very interesting topic, which is hot on the scenes at the minute, which is tripods in the gym, because some of them have become an absolute nightmare, and some are actually being banned from gyms, which is very interesting nowadays, because I know there was a wave of it prior. And then we're also going to be talking about hydration and some strategies that you can use to increase your hydration, improve your hydration as well. So I've got a nice little calculation in there, if you didn't already know about it, to help you get as much water in as you need, specifically to your body weight. Fun fact. So yeah.
Nice.
All right. So let's talk about the brand a little bit to start with. So Michael, talk to me about DNAHydrate. What is DNAHydrate and why did you create the product?
Okay, so DNAHydrate, as you can see here, this is one of our bottles. We are, simply put, a tripod alternative. So we're a water bottle. Key thing when you're in the health and fitness industry is remaining hydrated. Everybody's got bottles nowadays, so we cover that. And then obviously we're trying to get people to move away from the typical use of tripods. So we've got this MagSafe device which moves at 90 degrees on top of the bottle, which simply you connect your phone, and then you're off. It's the 2-in-1 product.
Love it. Yeah, mate, meet in that middle of the market. When did you actually see that this market needed this type of product though? So
I'm not the biggest gym goer, if I'm honest, but Adam, one of the other founders, he is. So he's in there all the time, and he was always driven mad by people having really poor gym etiquette, going in, setting the tripods up, taking 10, 15 minutes on each piece of equipment, setting it up, getting the height right, getting the angle right, and then doing the workout and then putting it down and moving on. When he finishes his job, is 9 till 5. In the evenings, he goes to the gym. He wants to kind of get in and get out so we can get back and enjoy a few hours at home relaxing. And so we discussed this and we said there's got to be a friendlier way for people to get in the gym and capture what they need to without having the faff of a tripod.
And there's nothing worse as well when you go into a gym and you see a sea of tripods. Yeah. And then when you're trying to get past it in the real exercise, you're thinking, oh, do I go behind? I can't go behind. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. It's the time thing, as I just touched base on. They're a trip hazard. So we started to play with this last year and brought it to market in January. And it's good timing because, as you guys know as well, gym owners are really heavily moving away from having tripods in the gym spaces now. So what we're trying to do is connect with gym owners, fitness enthusiasts and influencers, and let them know that DNAHydrate are here, and this product is an easier, simpler solution to capturing your journeys when you're in the gym.
And I find it really interesting as well, because a lot of people watching this will be filming their videos. If you're avid gym goer, you'll be filming your videos on bottles if you don't have a tripod as well. So I find it really cool how you've basically gone, you know what, you can just stick it on the top of your bottle. It makes so much more sense than like leaning it up against your bottle, trying to get the angle. I've seen some crazy ones as well where people haven't just used bottles, they've used squat shoes or shoes to like prop up the angle of the actual phone. And like, I think it's fantastic as well that, you know, there's a different way of looking at it, because tripods can be a pain. And they actually, I believe they came really into effect after COVID, didn't they? Because prior to that, I don't think they were really used in gyms to the degree they are now. I think
not in the same level.
No.
Not in the same level, but they're definitely been probably like the last 6 years. They've been creeping in slowly. Obviously, like the last 2 years, it's gone mad. Like everyone's doing it. It's
been ballistic, hasn't it? Joey Swell's made a lot of points about it, like hell of a lot of points. He's brought into it about the kind of tripod etiquette as well, which, to be honest, new marketing thing, just stick tripod etiquette on the side of the bottle. Mate, just be like, this is what to do, this is what not to do.
Imagine how I feel, right? When you go in and everyone's got those like really tiny base ones with a tall stem. And I've got this big beast photography bloody tripod. I'm walking in there with that thing, putting it on 2 meter section. Everyone in the gym is just like, fucking hell, man.
Well, it's the respect side of things. You touch base on it then. It's all about gym etiquette, and giving people that it's setting boundaries, isn't it? You don't want to be filmed. And even if you're not being filmed when they've got their tripod set up, it's intimidating. It's a big old tower leaning over you or next to you. And this is a softer, prettier, friendlier, quicker way of doing it. Safe. I mean, I'm against tripods myself, definitely. And the old saying, everybody has that name for tripod users, the tripod wankers. So sorry if I've offended any of
I don't think
those
you have.
tripod wankers, but just pop to our website and you don't have to be one anymore.
No, we love it, man. We love it. It's a bit of northern slang for you guys. So you go to the gym yourself, I'm guessing?
Yes, loosely, but I do.
Look at this man. He's obviously a specimen. Do you use this yourself, or do you not film?
To be honest, I'm not a filmer.
Okay.
I use this when I'm working all the time for Zoom calls. So I'll have my laptop set up. You can put it perfectly behind the screen with your phone on top.
Oh, really?
The Zoom call, it's a great fit. Put the phone on. I'm on FaceTime or a Zoom call or something, and then I've got my spreadsheets and whatnot on my laptop, and there's no distraction.
Cool.
So that's what I use it for. For example, coming down to see you guys today, my car sat nav is horrendous. So I put the bottle, which fits perfectly in the cup holder, and I put Google Maps on, and I've got no problems, no poor car sat nav taking me the wrong way and stuff. So they're two uses that I have for the bottle, and the 2-in-1 outside of the gym and health and fitness scene.
But it's so good. You got
Love
different, like, it's not, this is the thing, it's not just a fitness use you've got there. You have everyday uses as well, which you've just solved like 2 other problems that people have. Because me and Nick were discussing the other day, I was on a Zoom call. My webcam is a pile of shite, if I'm totally honest with you. So Zoom calling on my phone would make such a more viable option for doing it. But there's just nowhere to stand it up. Like, I'm not going to stick it on my big bottle and try and like lean it up on the top tower. It's just not practical. And you know, these bottles are amazing because as well, you're thinking you're keeping people hydrated throughout the day too, because you're reminding them all the time that their bottle and their phone is together. And if you're reaching for your phone, you might as well reach for your bottle at the same time to actually have a drink of water, because there was a statistic I was reading the other day as well that over 66% of our population is dehydrated daily, like rapidly dehydrated daily, because they're just not drinking enough water. But people just don't think about it throughout the day. I mean, I have to remind my partner a lot throughout the day, and I'll just kind of get her water bottle and slide it in next to her when she's like, is that a signal? I'm like, what else? What else do you think?
Could you imagine that in a relationship? You just push your bottle towards.
Oh, I do it.
Better be drinking, girl.
She turns around to me and she's like, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't drink water. Genuinely, that is a big problem. So this kind of reminds you
about to eat a cookie.
Just
no, girl. That's my cookie.
Step away from the cookie.
Have some water. But I think it's just a great product in general, because hydration is such a key area for everyone. And like, so many people forget to drink water throughout the day. I mean, it's befuddling to me, but I drink so much water throughout the day, probably the same as yourself. But there are people out there who just genuinely don't think about it.
And to make it,
I'll tell you another really good use which we didn't think of at the time. So are you guys going away in the summer? Got any holidays?
Yeah.
Right. So where are you going? Is it in Europe?
Prague.
Yeah,
Europe.
So most places in Europe, for example, you'll get a plane there, and you won't have in-flight entertainment, right? So you've got the old the tray, and you put your phone on the tray and up against the side, and you'll watch any videos you've downloaded. So what we do now is I put the tray there, I put the bottle on, I connect my phone, and it's a perfect holder for watching your movies and stuff whilst you're traveling around.
You don't have to look down. I think one big problem is you just get neck ache from sitting like this for the whole flight, just staring down. Well, I'm copping one after this.
You're bringing out more reasons why we should buy this, because like I thought it was just a gym tripod. It's so much more.
Yeah, it goes way beyond the gym space.
The thing that I'm amazed about, obviously those that are listening can't see this, but look at that, perfect. Perfect
live demo.
Perfect height, man.
Yep. You see, so when you've got your phone on there, it's not distracting you at all. You just leave it out the way.
Yeah.
On your Zoom or whatever.
Because you've got a MacBook, I'm guessing.
No, actually, I'm
PC.
Microsoft. Yeah.
HP.
Which is even bigger than this, and it's still the perfect height.
We've all been there, don't we?
Right.
You bugger.
We've all been Microsoft, mate. I've been there before. Okay. For those iPhone and Mac users, there's a continuity camera, so your phone can be a camera, and it just instantly recognizes it when you turn on like FaceTime, whatever. But there's nowhere to put the phone. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. This is really good for anyone that wants to turn their phone to webcam.
Good. I don't need to go buy a webcam now this weekend. And just buy a bottle instead, which actually is very useful.
Just buy a MacBook Pro, iPhone, get that, bosh.
Coaching lab account. No, I'm joking. No, but yeah, it's so good as well. And as I was saying about hydration there, we do want to talk on hydration a little bit, kind of as a topic area. And I think we went for a day. We had kind of a seminar day at one of the big property development firms in London, which was amazing. Cracking day out for us guys. And we found out that the problems that people have are so simplistic. And it is as simple as people aren't drinking enough water. And then people are like, okay, how do we strategize this to drink more water? Now, the problem isn't solely they're not drinking enough water. As I said to you earlier, they're not thinking about drinking enough water because physically you're there looking at a screen all day. You're not looking at being hydrated. I mean, if you think about it, when you really need a piss, how much do you think about water when you're staring at water? Crazy amount. So like hydration is such a key area, and it's more about making it more accessible that people can just continuously go throughout the day and just keep drinking. Now, a question I have for you, Michael, is obviously we spoke at PerformX and you said you're working with some gym brands as well. Are there any gym brands out there that people would know that currently are working with your bottle as well?
We just collaborated last week with Active Fitness, 24/7. They've got 3 sites, and I was at their Luton gym doing a collaboration day, just getting the brand out there. And again, one of their main reasons is because they're all about health and fitness and keeping people hydrated. So they stock merchandise. Most of it is your protein powders, your energy bars and stuff. So what we're now doing, we've branded the bottle with their logo. It's now on their shelves, so they can try and make people enthusiastic to stay hydrated. And obviously it gives them the tool to go in and film the journey as well when they're training. So that's one example. There's a cool gym up north called Space, which is a really, really high-end gym that we're doing a collaboration day with in June, and they've got all the top-flight kind of footballers up there. Before Ronaldo went back to Saudi, it's where him and his wife trained.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's beautiful. I've been up and visited already, and it's cryo chambers, ice baths, the most incredible equipment. It's more like a holiday resort than a gym space.
So like literally step ups from David Lloyd, I take it.
So far above David Lloyd.
I didn't even think that was possible. Wow.
It's nuts, and it's reflected in the monthly membership.
Oh, is
packages.
it?
Yeah, it would make you sick. It's more than most.
Do you end up getting a free one for putting your water bottle in there by chance? No, probably not.
That was the plan. Yeah.
That would be the motive move. I said about getting David Lloyd on the podcast. Shush, I just want a membership. That's basically the way it goes. But no, it's amazing. Have you what's the plan with the brand as well? In 5 years' time, where are you looking to be with this brand?
Okay, so obviously we launched in January. What we're doing now is we're just drumming up that brand awareness. We're letting people know that we're here and this is an alternative. Some people who use tripods are not going to make that switch because some people are fanatical about them and they think it's better. They think they get better angles and whatnot. And what my job is to do is to get out and say to people, hey, this product gives you a 90-degree angle from the floor, so it captures every point you need, so you don't miss any muscle groups. We do the 3 sizes, which is the 600 mil, the 800 mil, and the 1 liter. And obviously they get taller as you go up in the sizes. So there's that side of it. But we want to get into gym spaces. So as more and more start banning the use of tripods, we become the go-to. So people can still have a tripod-esque tool with the 2-in-1. but it's going to be merchandise for the gyms because they can put their brand on it. They can sell it in the store spaces within the gyms or online. So they're making their margins as well. Most gyms don't sell tripods. You go on Amazon or something to get that. So we're offering gyms a friendlier environment. We're ticking the box for them moving away for tripods. We're allowing them to add this into their merchandise range, which gives them money back in their pocket and brand awareness, because most bottles or tripods won't get used outside of the gym environment. They're a drink and drop product, as I say. Whereas because of the uses we spoke about this previously with the Zoom calls or the traveling on planes and trains and stuff, and the bottle coming out and being a phone stand, we see that if you've got your gym brand on the bottle, you're going to get that shown off around the world in different environments. Yeah. Because that bottle has got so many more uses outside of the gym space. Yeah. And so ours isn't a drink and drop product, which means that we're ticking that brand awareness box too. So to go back to your first, the actual question, our aim is to get the brand out there and break into as many gym spaces as possible, to put their brands on this, not do co-branding, put their brand on it so that it's solely repping their business and kind of flood the market with the 2-in-1s.
Okay, and I think we spoke about this at PerformX, but would you be looking at commercial gyms as well, like pure gyms, the gym groups and stuff like that? I just take it it's probably a little bit harder to get into the space as well.
Yeah, they're difficult. I mean, any massive corporation makes it hard to even touch base with them, let alone sell a product to them. But they're all encountering the same issue, which is tripods. And so we want to start with the small independent places like Space, like the Active 24/7, and the other ones that we're working with, and then hopefully build up that reputation, build up the community, build up the following, so that the people who are in charge of purchasing and whatnot for these bigger gym brands, the commercial ones like your David Lloyd, your Pure Gyms, those kind of gym groups, we want them to hear about us, and then it'll make it easier, ideally, for breaking into them and say, listen, you don't currently stock merchandise, but now you can. So you can make money off of the product when selling it to your consumers and members, and you're also going to tidy up your floor space within the gyms. So that's the goal that we want to get to. That's the road we see. It's going to be a long one.
I was going to say,
I've no doubt.
But every good company starts from somewhere, you know what I mean? And when it comes to tripods in the gym, I've not actually seen a gym ban on tripods yet.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I've heard about it on the news, but I've not seen one in the UK.
Okay, so we connected with NRG gyms. Yeah. They're massive.
Energy Fitness.
NRG Fitness, yes.
They do, what's it called? There was one, Fitness First. No, Fitness, what was it? Fit for Less? Fit for something? Can't remember the brand.
Well, a brand they work with.
There was Energy Fitness runs a brand which is not called Energy Fitness. Can't remember what it's called, but yeah, carry on.
Okay. Well, I've no idea what you're on about that.
But it closed. I couldn't remember it. I was hoping you'd be like, oh yeah, that one.
Fred not mate. But NRG gyms, they've got about 13, I think, around the country at the moment. They're huge, they're growing, they're pumping loads of money in. So we connected with a few of the guys at their team, including the owner, and we said, what are your views on tripods? And he said the same thing. We can't stop people from filming it, and if you do ban people from taking selfies and recording content, then they lose members, which is money lost for them. So they can't really go down that road. But what they want to do is ban tripods, so they're moving into that. They've done it in a few of their sites.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is now persuade them to say, okay, this is an alternative. So we have a collaboration day coming up. That's actually not till October with these guys. And the biggest site is in Manchester. So we're going to do it there. It's essentially like a pilot scheme. Yeah. So we'll go in and we'll build trust around our product for them to ideally then go, okay, let's look at rolling this
out. So the question is there anything similar that could beat you to the gate at the moment? Because I've not seen anything like this.
So we've got the rights for this in outside of America, basically. Right. There is a company in the US doing it. Their design is slightly different, so we've got a patent on the design, and the strength of the magnet is kind of what we pride ourselves on. And we tested the product in America. We ordered a couple of them, and you'd put your phone on the magnet, and if you were to place the bottle down hard, or you'd knock a weight over or something, a dumbbell near it, your phone occasionally would fall off. So it wasn't foolproof, and we figured if you're in a rough and tough environment like a a fight academy or something, or a gym where weights are being thrown around and you've got big burly bruisers knocking about, then it needs to be a pretty robust product. So we took the time to make sure that the magnet, which you guys have tested as well, is snappy. I mean, your phone, when you're near it, just pulls onto it without damaging the phone, obviously. So in terms of a quality similar product, no, there's nothing out there that will rival the DNAHydrate 2-in-1 at the moment. Definitely not.
Perfect. Because it does sound like you're literally in that kind of crossing point where, as you said, gyms want to ban tripods, but they don't want to lose the membership base. So if you come along with this, it could give that little spark where they actually have an alternative to those members.
Well, that's the idea. Yeah, definitely.
It's decent.
And then the other thing is as well, so when the bottle is empty, you guys might remember from PerformX in London, it holds your phone perfectly. So the weight distribution is great. It's got the weight in the bottle. So if you drink your fluid, you can't be bothered to go and fill up at the tap or whatever. You can still capture yourself, no matter what, if you're in a rush or something. But when it is full, it actually holds an iPad as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Really? So again, then on that basis, you move back outside of the gym space. And if you're in a home working environment or an office or something, people use iPads and whatnot, and they want to prop them up. It's just another tool, another string to the bow, if you will. So.
And could the magnet hold the water bottle up on a metal pylon? For example, in a gym, you've got a rack and you wanted to hold it.
Yeah.
Could it?
Yeah.
Damn. See, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've not tested that, but it would. I have stuck it to other metal objects, just playing around with it, and it holds fine. So yeah, I would imagine it would definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I was going to say as well, like little moat kind of thing. Like we were speaking about angles, don't we? But actually, a lot of people filming this, or probably like watching this, maybe thinking, okay, how do I get the angle that I get on the tripod? Realistically, with iPhone cameras and maybe some Android cameras, you don't really need to worry about angles too much because this is capturing such a good low angle, and it is high enough that you can film the footage you need to film in most occasions, unless you are needing for some extravagant degree, like a downward angle on an exercise, which will be interesting to capture anyway. And as I say, here's a question for you. Have you thought about putting ring lights on the back of them at any given point in time?
No, we haven't actually. We've got a few things in the pipeline. The next one is adapting the lid to protein shakers. Yeah. Nice. Not ring lights. No, but thanks for the tip. I'll look into it, and if it works and takes off, we'll
so what, let you know. I mean, what about if this is your technology part here that you found a way to attach it to anything? You buy the component, it attaches to any water bottle.
So we would just sell the lids.
That's what I mean.
Essentially.
Yeah, and then it attaches to like most water bottles within a certain range, obviously.
It does work on a number of water bottles, yes.
Does it?
Yeah.
Apologies for interrupting the podcast. We know you're getting fully engrossed into this episode, and we really appreciate you stopping on the video on YouTube or on Spotify if you found us through one of the search pages. Make sure to leave a review and a subscription if you haven't already. But we just wanted to interject a point here that me and Nick have 15 years of coaching experience between us, and it's only getting better as we've got better guests on the podcast. The only way we can do that, though, is with the growth of our program that we've just released. We've got a 12-month PerformWell program, which has just dropped, and we'd love you guys to get involved in it. If you want to know more details, make sure to head to the description, as we've got our website in there, which can give you a full overlay of the program. We're looking to help career-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and anyone dominate their life by improving their lifestyle. Me and Nick like to claim ourselves as experts in this area, and if you want to check out some of our other transformations, I'm sure you do. We've got some amazing people who have performed so well off the back of this program. Have a cracking day, and we really appreciate your time. Let's get back to the podcast. Are you thinking for when you're doing your long cycle, so you can have footage at a low angle when you're doing your John O'Groats?
That is the thing with cycling, though, isn't it? Like, obviously, it's quite difficult to get a good angle video of yourself because obviously you're over the bike. Your nose is the main component that's in the frame, so it looks shit.
Yeah.
So having that potentially, if it's somewhere you can mount that, yeah, of course, be good.
Yeah. The other cool thing about this is you mentioned Android phones a minute ago. So some of the when we go to these shows and whatnot, and we're promoting the brands, people come up to us and say, "Well, I don't have an Apple phone with the MagSafe technology, so your product isn't solving any issues for me." Which they're wrong, and I love telling them that they're wrong, because MagSafe is built on all modern phones now. And if you have an older phone, so this works, for example, on Apple phones from iPhone 12 and up. If you don't, I can see on your camera over there, you've got, or your phone, sorry, you've got a MagSafe case.
Yeah.
So you just put a MagSafe case on any phone, and whether it be a Google phone, Android phone, whatever brand it is, and it works perfectly with that. It's actually a stronger connection. If you don't have a MagSafe phone or a MagSafe case, in each bottle box, we provide a MagSafe ring, which you just simply stick onto the back of your phone or the back of your case, which isn't MagSafe, and then you can connect it, and it works. So this bottle will work with any phone on the market.
Well, I mean,
That is a claim.
I mean,
I like it.
That's amazing that it can work in that. Now, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So, obviously, you do training. You said you train loosely as well. So, we've got a lot of people here who, might be in similar positions to yourself. What are a couple of things within the gym space that you would say you enjoy at the minute in terms of like the actual fitness community? Like fitness community as a whole, what are the things you're seeing in the community at the minute you're really liking to see?
Okay, so from my personal point of view, I'm big into the boxing scene.
Okay.
So I'll go down to the boxing gym locally in Burton, and they will always do group photos after do you box?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
you know what it's like. It's like a family environment. So they're all like
well,
brothers.
mine was more like a gypsy environment, but
Right.
it depends if you call it
I didn't know if I could get away with saying that.
Yeah,
that is really what I meant.
Fly away, mate.
So what they do, they're always taking photos. They're always huddling together and stuff, and recording the sparring sessions. So when I'm in that environment and the guys that I train with are there, this is great, because typically it was prop your phone up on a little shelf on the wall and capture it. And if you want to talk about angles, when you're bouncing on your toes, you're throwing shots and you're twisting and turning constantly like you are in sparring, then you'd think, well, there's no chance in hell that you're going to get the right angles. You're going to miss certain things. Well, I can prove to you with content that I've captured doing it that it doesn't. And with the 90-degree tilt, it's perfect. So, yeah, my personal side of things, I think it's really good for fight schools, training, sparring, stuff like that. And we're actually doing some work with a guy called Kenny from Fight for Peace, if you've heard of them, in London.
No.
Okay. They were at PerformX as well. And Kenny is a smashing fella, great boxer as well. We're rolling them out with their gym. It's a not-for-profit organisation. And they do all sorts of martial arts training, from boxing, MMA, all the grappling and whatnot. The setup down there is phenomenal. So they're having them, so that when the kids are in the Pentagon, I'm not really into UFC, I think it's called the Pentagon, is it?
Yeah.
Octagon.
Octagon is there you go. Okay.
Pentagon will be a new one.
That was terrible by me. But, so when they're in the, obviously you've got the bouncing and stuff going on, all the heavy like twisting and turning. They put it in the corner. They just put the phone on and they capture everything.
See, that's not necessarily a sport I would have imagined this would be a good use for.
Yeah, I know, and but it does. It works. It works great. You put it. So being a boxer, you'll have been in a ring and stuff.
I mean,
and
nothing crazy, mate. Do you know what I mean? I've done one fight, and you know what I mean.
How was it?
It was ultra white collar, so charity fight.
Yeah.
So real mix of ability. You don't know who you're gonna get.
Yep. Did you win?
It was a draw.
Okay.
Yeah, but the guy I fought, he had 5 fights, and it was my first one. Athletically, I was probably better on a few things, but his fighting experience made him better in some ways. So we kind of drew because of it.
Nice.
Phenomenal experience, mate. Like, have you done?
I have, yeah. I've done a few of them, yeah.
The adrenaline's insane.
It's amazing. I take my hat off to you for getting in the ring and doing it.
No matter how much you train for it, when you get in that ring, it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, your body just shuts down, and it feels like an out-of-body experience. You can't actually control your body anymore.
And you can be so fit. You could be the fittest man on the planet. I swear. If you've not done it, you get through those ropes and your energy zaps, and
it's wild,
you
mate.
get anxious.
They even played the wrong walking music for me. I chose this walkout music. They told we had to give it on CDs. We had to put on CDs and give it to them, burn it. I was like, I haven't burnt a CD for 20 years.
I haven't burnt a CD for ages.
I didn't know you could still do that.
No, I didn't know you could still do that.
And they still played the wrong one. I was like, for fuck's sake. I'm walking out like, ugh.
What did they play in the end?
I don't know, but I wanted Shrek, and they put on some gangster music.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
They're like, this man doesn't need Shrek, he doesn't need All Star, and he's giving 50 Cent right now. Oh my word! I mean, I've never personally for boxing. I have a little bit of thought about it, but it's not my cup of tea, to be honest. I'm not. I don't know how I'd even get on, to be totally honest, in the ring. I'm not much of a fighter. I'm a lover. That's my
You'd be good at MMA then. You grapple them.
We'll give people a hug.
Yeah, cuddle them,
exactly.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
cuddle them to
Squeeze
death,
them.
basically. I do say I've got a gnarly hug on me, so we'll go with that one. But also, I wanted to ask you one question as well, because obviously we spoke about the success of the brand and how well it's done. What is like you've probably had some problems with it as well over the time of making it. A lot of people learn that. So what is one of the failures you've had, and what is like how did you turn it around from there?
Okay, so the first order that we got through, if I'm deadly honest with you, the halo device, as I call it, on the top. See the pin that's in the side here, which controls the 90-degree movement? Over time, that was getting weak. So when you put your phone on it, it would drop. It would start bending. So if you'd set up, you wouldn't get that angle because your phone weight would slowly push it down. Or if it was really far forward, it'd come that way. It'd come the other way towards you. So we had to go back to the drawing board and make sure that, okay, this needs to be robust. This needs to be incredibly tight, even if it feels a bit difficult when you're setting it up. Which, I mean, difficult is an overstatement, but it just needs to be much firmer like that, so that the product has longevity, so that you don't use this solidly 5 days a week for a month and then the halo doesn't work and it's just a holding device or a carrying device. So that was the main issue that we had to start with. So as I say, we did go back to the drawing board. We made it a lot firmer, and we've not had one poor bit of feedback since. And we get a lot of people who do a lot of training, which you'll have seen on our page. Yeah. Some people use this, twice a day, every day of the week. And we're yet to have anybody say the halo is too weak now, guys. So we've crossed that bridge and sorted it out. But you're right, as any brand gets, you're going to have issues, and that was one of our early teething issues, big time.
Have you? I mean, one of my things in my head is like, I'd love to see you on Dragon's Den with us. I would love to see that. Honestly, it's just screaming like Dragon's Den vibes to me.
Maybe there's maybe you've approached them.
No, if I'm honest, I actually about 6-7 weeks ago, I filled in the application form online, but didn't press submit.
Oh, really? Any reason for that?
I don't know. A lot of people have said to us, guys, why don't you go on? Because we think it could do well and whatnot. It's a really cool product. Everybody who sees it and tests it and feels it gets the quality of it, gets the concept, and says, for whether it's gym or travel or whatever, it's useful. I'm not sure, because I think between the team, the three of us, we've got enough between us to be able to deliver.
What's the saying? Too many chefs spoils the broth.
Yeah.
Cooks, yeah.
And then also you got to give a percentage. And like, you've brought this baby up from the ground up. You have other businesses you talked about beforehand. So for someone that's had experience in business, you're starting a new business, you don't necessarily need someone to help with that.
Well, there's that, but there's a lot of pressure as well that, again, gets heaped on. If you go and ask for X amount of investment and you give away X amount of shares, things change overnight. It's good having that initial.
We know the Dragons, mate. They want their 40%. They want 50%. Yeah. They are ruthless, man.
And I tell them to stick it. So I don't know if we could do that right now. But no, we have had people say that, and we have discussed it. And as I say, I filled out the application form, but I don't think at the moment we need to. This is something, it's quite a nice, exciting journey. I think organically is the way to go. If we ever did need an influx of cash, the three of us together couldn't fulfill, or we couldn't find some private equity guys or something to do it, then we may look at it. But right now, it's we've got this.
It's doing what you need it to do.
Yeah, and it's, as I say, we've been live since January. So
look, I know we talked a lot about this product, but obviously it's there for a reason. Like, this guy's come all the way down from Derby's, brilliant product. We want to talk about it. We are a performance and wellness podcast. We want to talk about hydration today, but also before that, performance. So you're a boxer primarily in terms of training, or is there any other thing you do?
No, it's pretty much. I used to be big into my swimming and stuff.
Swimming, okay.
But that was a long time ago. But yeah, it's the thing that motivates me now is to go out and have a goal. So it's boxing, because you can put something in place. If I go in the gym and I try and move weights around and stuff, I know in 2 weeks' time I will not go.
I feel like that's, because I know we're similar age. I feel like that's like, as you get older, I don't know. This is what I found personally, and other people my age, but you sort of get more attuned to doing some kind of event or a goal and changing your training around that, as opposed to just training to look good. Yeah,
that makes sense. I agree. I think it's massive.
I don't know if it's an old age thing or something, or maybe old, I don't know.
I hope we're not in that box yet.
I hope not.
No, but I agree with you on this because
Yeah.
I mean, even more so. Like, I know there's a little bit of an age gap, but it's not a crazy age gap. Like now that I've done my first triathlon, I've already turned around to myself and booked another one because it focuses my training. I can sit there and say every little session that I do is building towards this one end goal. And I actually had this conversation with my partner when we were driving this bank holiday weekend, and we were saying how the actually physique goals are overrated. Performance goals are what people are focused on now. Think how many people are doing High Rocks. That High Rocks is one of the most popular events on the planet for the sole reason people train for a specific reason. They want to get a time, they want to get a medal, they want to say they've done something. And like, you'll always be chasing your physique. No one is ever 100% happy in your physique.
And the thing as well with that is like when you're training for a goal, your body normally changes anyway. So you achieve the physique. You don't,
Without having to focus as well.
Like, let me get it wrong. Physique models, yes, they're going to have the best shoulder to waist ratio. They're going to look as probably better on a cover model, whatever. Cool, we understand that. But they can't perform. They can't do things in daily life. They can't go on adventures and use their body in a way that would actually warrant them enjoying the experience. So it's a bit of a problem. But obviously, the reason why I was mentioning this because every business owner we've had on the podcast and we spoke to, including ourselves and yourself, they all have some kind of performance and daily routine to help them on their health and their spiritual and their personal side of things to help them drive the business. So how important is that side of thing outside of the business for you in driving this and all the other products you've done?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. I mean, if I went back to the start of the year, I wasn't training particularly hard. I am doing a lot more now. And I noticed that my performance on a day-to-day basis was nowhere near as good. And from when I was younger, about your age, I was mega into fitness.
Younger. That's how old we sound now. Back in your day.
Here, people. There's 8 years.
Back in your day.
Back in my day. But I was really, and it was, you're right, it was all about image though. There wasn't so much a goal. And, but I knew, but even back then, if I compared myself, that my energy levels were better. I could work for longer without the fatigue, and there was more structure to the day. And especially being essentially self-employed, working for myself, I've got to be disciplined. Otherwise, it's too easy for things to go out the window and not be productive. So as the year progressed, I started realizing this, and I thought, no, I need to be more productive. So I've put the training back in, and as a result, I wake up earlier and I feel fresher. I don't need to rely on 5 cups of coffee. It's now just the 1 cup of coffee before my eyes will open. And I think training in business is massive. I think it gives you a clear head. Yeah. It helps with you know moods and stuff, because as it is for you guys when you're running your show, you have ups and you have downs. So if you can be stable mentally and clear-headed, then it's so much easier to just take things in your stride, whether it's good or it's bad, and keep pushing on and get into the end goal of where you want to be.
And I love that. I don't want to be too cliche with this one, because it sounds like a Chris Williamson podcast quote. But like, how you do one thing is how you do everything, is what I was told once. And when I think about it, when you're on it with one thing, everything seems to be on it.
Yeah.
And then when you're off on something, normally like training and nutrition and like the hydration, then obviously it just all crumbles, and you don't know why until you get things back on track.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, as well, like when we talk about the performance aspect in businesses and how much it impacts different stuff. I want to throw a little quote from Bruce Lee, because what's a podcast without a quote from Bruce Lee, eh? So Bruce Lee once said, "One does not accumulate but eliminate. It does not increase. It's not daily increase but daily decrease. The height of cultivation always runs to simplicity." It's true. Like, you're talking about training. All it takes is you to train consistently, say 3-4 times a week, and that's it. And you reduce your caffeine intake, your sleep improves, like your hydration improves, because you're taking those steps from training that makes you feel thirsty. You're hungry all the time, so your diet's on point. And it's such a simple change that kind of cultivates everything in everyone's lives. And we speak to a lot of business owners, and a lot of them do turn around and say that it's the same thing. Once you have consistent schedule, obviously, as business owners, we've got a lot going on in our minds. But if we can knuckle down 3 gym sessions a week minimum to make us feel good and go out for a few walks and stuff, fantastic. Like, you feel so much better. You don't have to go and run a half marathon every single week.
Yeah, definitely. And I think training, when you start doing it, I would say for the first 2, 3, 4 weeks feels like a bit of a chore, a task. You have to really motivate yourself to get up, to get in the gym or get out on the road and run, do whatever it is you're doing. But when you break that barrier and it becomes routine, you feel better and it becomes enjoyable as well. So that's massive.
Yeah,
I love it, mate.
It is a huge shout.
Yeah.
It is huge. But we've also really appreciated you coming on the podcast today. It's been phenomenal talking about DNAHydrate and learning a lot about the brand.
Before we wrap up,
Go on.
because we said at the beginning that we're going to promise hydration.
Ah, yes.
A hydration
Oh,
thing.
okay,
So,
right. Yeah,
guys,
let me hit you with
we're
it.
not going to fail on our promise today. We're going
See, that was a sneaky bit of marketing. Now I'm coming back in with it. Don't worry. I'm back now. So we're talking about hydration strategies. One thing I shared a long while ago, which resonated highly. I don't know if you guys know a lot about kind of how much water people should be drinking on the daily. Do you know like the average amount?
Well, 2 to 3 is what they say, but like that's very broad average.
So a lot of that, again, we're talking averages there. It's like when we talk about calorie consumption for people, we're saying normally 2,000 for women, 2,500 for men. But obviously for us, we're different builds, different shapes, different activity levels. And the problem is a lot of people can become overwhelmed by saying you need to drink 3 litres of water, which is about 3 and a bit of those, basically, which people can manage. Like you can definitely manage that. But people become overwhelmed. Now, if you're trying to work out your hydration level, it's not complicated. It's nice and easy. All you got to do is multiply your body weight in kilograms by 0.33, and that will give you the exact amount of liters that you need to consume to drink the right amount of water per day. Then just break that down throughout your day. On average, a teacup of coffee contains 250 milliliters of water. I personally don't like to include it, but let's be honest, if it's going to get some hydration for the day, crack on. And then just consume that throughout the day regularly. And these bottles, going back to it again, are fantastic for doing that. One of the biggest strategies is get yourself a big bottle. Some people turn around and say they're obnoxious. I don't think so. I think if you're getting hydration in, that's what we want.
I used to carry one of those, what was it, gym bottles? It was like gym kegs.
Yeah, I got one.
I had to throw them away, man. I was like, I couldn't be carrying that every day.
It is a pain because the mad thing is, I can't pack that in my bag if I'm going places. That I can pack in things, but I can't pack my big keg.
And that'll fit into your pocket as well, I think. That will slide nicely.
Yeah, depends how deep your pockets are.
It'll be quite a fit.
I might be able to get that in mind, to be fair.
Yeah, you get definitely.
I mean, yours trousers, definitely. I mean, jeans might be a problem, but...
I'll tell you an interesting fact about bottles as well, right, before we wrap it up. This is, I should have brought one as an example. So on the bottom of cheap bottles, you'll find it on everyone. It's a legal requirement. We don't have to because our build quality is different. You'll see a triangle in exclamation marks, and within there will be a number, and usually it's between 3 and 10. And that means the amount of times that bottle should be filled and emptied before you throw it away.
Right.
So it's always below like 10 or 15. It's usually kind of between 3 and 7. And no one knows that.
Is that because of bleaching of the chemicals?
Yes, so that means that the toxins are then being mixed in with the water, so you're putting that into your body afterwards. And that's what cheap plastic bottles, even some cheap nasty metal ones with lacquers and paint and stuff on them will do that. But next time you're looking at bottles, it's really sad, but I do it all the time now. You turn it over and you go, hey, this one should be used 3 times before it's thrown in the bin.
Waiter, how many times have you used?
and nobody knows that either. And it's so people go, oh well, why would I want to pay $24.99 for one of your bottles when I can spend £7 on a bottle? And I go, sure, but after 7 uses, your body is ingesting toxins. So think about that, because that's not healthy, and that's what that nasty taste and smell is.
That's the kind of attention to detail that that's a good product, because to have that kind of level of explanation is insane. Like, you don't normally get told that. Like, if you go on Temu, for example, or Wish, obviously this could probably be copied on there, right? But that will fall off. That will have a number saying 1 on there.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
But with yours then, how many times can yours? It's just infinite use, basically.
Infinite use. So because this is a quality double wall insulated stainless steel bottle, the flask part of it means that it has got ultimate uses, if you will.
Oh, beautiful.
And it keeps things warm as well.
So it keeps your drinks warm for a minimum of 12 hours. So as I said earlier, I'm reducing my coffee intake, but I am a coffee fanatic. So that's always full of coffee, and it's hot wherever I'm going for like most of the day. And if on a crazy hot summer's day, or I'm in the gym or something, you need that really cold hit of water or juice, whatever's in there, it's going to keep it properly cold for a minimum of 24 hours. And again, that's the benefit of having this double wall insulated flask. And obviously you never get any toxins, and that's the BPA free side of things. So yeah.
One very quick question. What's the DNA stand for in DNAHydrate?
Drink and attach.
Love it.
Damn, that's clever. Sorry, it just blew my...
It's simple.
I know. That is like in my head, I was like, DNA. Where does DNA come into this?
I had so many ideas in my head what that could be. I was like, nah, I got to ask.
I was like, it's definitely nothing to do with like actual DNA, is it? It's going to be something really swell. Well, that's damn clever. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, Michael, and obviously DNAHydrate. Now, the last bit of the podcast to wrap up. You've been doing it all podcast, but do it again now. Plug the brand. Just let the people know where they can get it from.
All right, guys. If you could give us a follow, it's DNA_hydrate on Instagram. Our website is DNAHydrate.com. We'd love you to give us a follow. We're trying to build that community. Go on there, get one of these products. It will not let you down. I mean, it genuinely is awesome. And hopefully, if you guys don't mind, I've got a discount code as well that we can tag when this goes live for all your followers and whatnot. So you can go on, use the promo code, and you'll get 20% off.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, and we'll put that in the description for you guys, and like Nick might do some flashy editing to make it flash up, giving you more work. But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching, so make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media channels, and make sure to obviously check out DNAHydrate. The guys are amazing. They're creating a great brand, but we also want to mention to you guys that we have our online coaching platform, so make sure if you're interested in online coaching, we do it internationally. I've been working with a lovely lady from Monaco recently. Yes, I want to plug that after the Monaco Grand Prix, and she's been trying to help her own performance and well-being struggles. So if you're interested as well, then make sure to check us out and just follow the link in our description as well, and you can find out about all our guys and obviously what we deliver as a service. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
Ciao. Awesome.